Hey guys, it's Sharon here, and I'm back with my Hobonichi. Now, in the last video, I had finished up April's flip through, and so I have quite a few months to get caught up, to backtrack to get you guys caught up to where we are now. But what I thought I would do is I thought I would just go ahead and jump forward and get something a little bit more current so that we could look at the first part of October, and then I'll do the second part of October, and then I will go ahead and backtrack and we'll start in on May after that. So that's the plan for this particular Hobonichi Flip Through series. So on October 1st, which was a Saturday, I was talking about weekend frivolity and was just talking about how glad I was to actually have a free weekend, pretty much. Still had a few things to do, but where we didn't have to be out of town or anything, because in October, it was a busy month for us. I shouldn't say gonna be, but it was a busy month for us, and so we were gone quite a bit and had quite a lot to do on the weekends. So I was just talking about how nice it would be to have this quiet weekend before the madness hits, and I was going to enjoy it as much as I could. So then I spent part of that Saturday just watching some videos on YouTube. I tried to draw my little iPad right there, because that's usually what I watch my videos on. And I was talking about just watching some coloring book videos and you know, just enjoying seeing the collections and things that other people had, because it kind of gives me some ideas of things I might want to add to my list. Oh my gosh, YouTube is so good for enabling. So I was just talking about how I enjoyed that. And then on Sunday, I was talking about rehearsal, because I had rehearsal that night for our choral group, and I was talking about how I'm really not crazy about some of the music we have. Actually, this Christmas season that we're doing is probably my least favorite holiday season that we've had since I joined the group, and I've been a part of the group now for about 3 years, I guess. I joined in the winter of 2013, or the fall season of 2013, Christmas season 2013, if you will. So, this particular season isn't really my favorite as far as some of the music goes. There's just a couple of the songs that I just, I can't hack. But anyway, so, but I guess it's going to happen from year to year. Not everybody's going to like everything. So, I was just talking about how I'd go to rehearsal and all that. And then down here, well, on this page too, I was saying how I needed to write my short story. For the, I participate in a short story challenge, a monthly short story challenge on the Sims forum. And so we do monthly short stories with, and there's a theme that happens each month. So I was talking about how I needed to write my short story and had an idea of what I wanted to do. For October's theme, it was going to be spooky. So I had an idea, but just had to figure out how I was going to put it together. So anyway, then over here, I actually did get the story finished. Got it finished written, got the screenshots, got the Sims created and everything for it. So I did pretty good that day. And then here is a picture of my main female character in the short story. This is Alicia. And I will link that short story in the description section of this video, so you can go over there and read that if you like. And it's a short story, so it won't take you long to get through. So anyway, the story is called Beyond the Void. So I will link that in the description section of the video. Now over here on Monday, I kind of messed this up. Like, I was going to draw a book up here, because I was talking about how I started reading some of the books in the Harry Potter series again. I've read them many times before, but sometimes I like to go back, like maybe once a year, and reread them, because, you know, because they are nice, and I really do love Harry Potter. But I messed up the book over here. I think it was over here. I messed up the book, so I decided to kind of turn this top part into just some doodles. I tried to draw a sphere. I don't know what the heck I was trying to draw over here, but I was just trying to doodle just a couple of little things and just fill up the page. And then I wrote doodles. And then down here, I actually did draw the book. I actually did a pretty good job on the book there. Tried to draw the actual book and then the pages. And then I wrote Harry Potter, because I was starting some of the Harry Potter books. And then on Tuesday, I had placed an order for on Amazon for some adult coloring books and some Prismacolor watercolors and things like that. So I was just pretty much talking about it, and I was watching some more videos and stuff, because as I said, I really like to see the collections of other people and see what other people are coloring and enjoying that. Okay, so then on Wednesday, I was talking about how I finished up Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Again, I tried to draw another book, and was talking about that, and then how I was just watching some more videos and stuff on coloring books and journals and all that. I also started watching some Hobonichi unboxings and stuff, because people were starting to get some of that in, because that launch day was on September 1st, so a bunch of hauls and stuff were going up on YouTube about that. And then my Amazon order arrived with the things I ordered with the watercolor pencils and stuff. So I drew a little mailbox, because my stuff always comes in the mail usually. I used to get a lot of UPS from Amazon, but I think now they're trying to use the U.S. Postal Service a lot more if they can. And then this was a Thursday, so I was talking about how we had a Lions Club meeting that night. And we do a big car show every year. And from probably about like August to October, it gets really busy, and we used to have weekly meetings until the car show was over with, but this year's president decided that we weren't going to do that, and that we were going to try to make the meetings that we were having a bit more efficient, although it still ran a bit long, and we had a board meeting after, and I sit on the board, so I had to attend that, and so it kind of got to be a rather long evening, but at least we don't have to do the weekly meetings. Like, we meet twice a month, but we don't have to do the weekly meetings because this year's president decided not to do that and just try to make the meetings that we were having to be more productive and efficient and stuff. So that was good. And then on Friday and Saturday, I didn't really have much to put on the page. Like, we weren't really doing much. So I took, and I kind of messed this up a little bit, I took some of my ink tints, the Derwent ink tints, and I colored in some, I made like little squares, I guess, kind of a wonky looking sort of upside down pyramid. And so I colored them in, and then I added the water on them. And what I was trying to do for each square was I was trying to put one of the Harry Potter books in each of the squares. There's like 7 squares here. But what happened was, what I do is like I make the square, and then I write in what the book is. And usually it works out real well, because like I've done that with color pencils, and it works out really well. Like, you can still see the ink over the color pencil. But with these ink tints and watercolor pencils and stuff, like once you start adding the water to them, it kind of washes out the actual pen. So I had a hard time getting the actual ink to show up on the darker colors. So what I did was I wrote this book on this side over here, and this book over here on this side. This is Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows. So yeah, it didn't turn out like I wanted. I think when I do this kind of thing, I'm probably just going to use regular color pencils so the ink continues to show up. Because when you add, when you do this with ink tints or watercolor pencils, it doesn't work out real well if you want things to be seen inside the box or the circle or whatever. So then same thing over here. This was the Saturday. I just made a bunch of circles, colored them in with some watercolor pencils, and I was writing in names of books that I liked, just different ones. A lot of Stephen King books in here, a lot of Nora Roberts books in here, but yeah, because I was using the watercolor pencils on the darker colors especially, you can't really see what I wrote inside the circle because it kind of washed out the pen. But so that's a lesson learned on those. Then on Sunday, which was the 9th, it was our 23rd wedding anniversary. My husband and I have been married for 23 years. And so usually we go out to dinner on our anniversary. And there's a restaurant that's near us called Ray's Ranch that we usually try to go to because it's kind of local. It's not really like local, but it's a bit of a hike, but it's still sort of kind of in our locale, kind of sort of. Probably takes I don't want to say like how long it takes us to get there, but it's relatively close. It's a bit of a drive, but it's relatively close. And so we usually go there because, again, we try to support like the smaller businesses, and it wasn't really it's not a chain. It's kind of a family-owned restaurant, but we usually try to go there, as I said, for special occasions. And my husband really likes their ribs. Their ribs, I think, are their specialty. So one time I remember we were there, and they had run out of ribs, so I called ahead of time to make sure that they were going to have ribs. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have plenty of ribs. So we get there. We got there about 3 o'clock. We wanted to kind of get there early because I had rehearsal that night. So we get there kind of early, about 3 o'clock, and, we got the drinks and appetizers, and I got my glass of wine, and, we got a appetizer sampler. So anyway, they came back to put in our main course, and my husband orders the ribs. Well, sorry, sir, we don't serve the ribs until 4:30, and we didn't want to sit there for about another hour and a half. So what we ended up doing was we finished up the appetizers, and we finished up our drinks, and we decided to go ahead and just, pay for that, just end things there, and then we drove to the nearest Outback, because they have ribs there. So, my husband really wanted ribs, so we went to the Outback to have some, so my husband could have some ribs. I actually had some shrimp. I was really in the mood for some shrimp. But anyway, so I was kind of joking about how, this was our first family progressive dinner. So that kind of made for an interesting day. And so anyway, this, as I said, I had rehearsal that night. So I really didn't want to go because, I never like to go to these things when I have a full tummy, and I just kind of wanted to go home and relax, but I did have to go to rehearsal. I really can't really miss out unless I really have to, so I went to rehearsal. And then on Monday, I covered some of this up because there was some personal information that I didn't want to share. We had a meeting having to do with the Lions Club that we had to go to. It was a committee that I chair, and I had to, run that meeting. So we did that, and that kind of made for a long day. And some of what's covered up was I was talking about how usually when we go up that way, we have Jimmy John's for lunch. I'm really not a big fan of Jimmy John's, but it's convenient, and it's relatively inexpensive, so we do the Jimmy John's for lunch. And so I got home, and it was relaxed time, and I just watched some more coloring videos and journal videos and stuff, a few Hobonichi hauls and all that. So that was my Monday. And then on Tuesday, didn't really have too much to put on the page, so I printed off a picture of a nightingale, and was just talking about how this kind of represents my username, because I am Sweet Nightingale. And so it was the one that I found on the internet that I put on one of my blogs because it got a blog award. So I decided to go ahead and print out that picture and just write about that a little bit. And then I had gotten a set of pastels that I wanted to shave some of the stuff off and use for the background pages in my coloring books. I ended up hauling that in one of my videos. So what I did was I tried to draw, this is a big, this is a big square with, I tried to draw my little Doris bead containers, because they come in a big square, comes in a square box, and then you got the little clear containers. And so I tried to draw the little containers, and I colored this in to kind of represent some of the colors of the pastels and stuff that I shaved off. So I was just talking about how I was working on shaving some of them down and filling up my containers with the different colors. And then, on Tuesday, again, not too much was going on. I just watched a few more videos. I finished up doing the shavings of the pastels. And then I tried to draw a glass of wine. I messed it up a little bit, as you can see up there, but it didn't really come out too grand. But there's my glass of wine. I had my glass of wine that night. And then I put a YouTube sticker down here because I was talking about how I was watching a lot of YouTube, and had gotten quite a lot of inspiration, and how it's so good for enabling, if you're looking for things that you want to purchase for yourself. And then on Wednesday, on Thursday, this is a Thursday, didn't really have too much to say on that day, so I had a couple of extra pictures that I printed off from a few chapters in my story Forever in Time. I will link that story in the description section of this video so that you can read that if you wish. And it's on a blog, and I use my Sims 3 game to illustrate that story. So I will provide that link if you guys are interested in taking a look at that. So I was talking about how I really need to get back into writing because I've not really written anything in any of my stories for quite a while. And you know, now that I have a little bit of breathing room, I'm going to try to, I need to get back into doing that and getting some chapters up. But I was talking about how I got these pictures here and wanted to go ahead and paste glue, whatever, tape them in here so that maybe it could kind of help me get some inspiration to get back to writing my chapters. So this one here is my character Aurora. She's talking to her father. She's giving him the news that she's engaged. So kind of some story spoilers for you, but yeah. And then here is Aurora and her fiance kissing. And I kind of messed the picture up, like it kind of crinkled a little bit. And so I was trying to get it to go back, and I ripped it a little bit, so I had to put another layer of sticky down there. So hence the little piecemeal looking thing right there. And then I was just talking about how thank God it's Friday. And yeah, I was glad it was Friday because I was looking forward to the weekend, although we had stuff going on for over the weekend, and I just watched some videos and just, you know, kind of hung out and did not too much of anything. And I was talking about, I put another YouTube sticker down there. I was talking about how I'd been watching a lot of videos and stuff, and that I'd soon have my own that I needed to film and put up because I had some things that I wanted to put up on the channel. So I think this like first couple of weeks in October was dedicated to watching YouTube videos, because I did quite a bit of that when I had the downtime. And then on Saturday we had another Lions Club do thing. We had to be out of town for that. So then when we got back into town, now again, my drawing abilities are pretty much non-existent. I tried to draw a little hand with some colored nails up there, but I got a fill-in for my nails, so I was just talking about that, and tried to draw my little hand, but that didn't turn out real great. Like I said, I can't draw to save my soul, but what the heck. So I was talking about how I got a fill-in for my nails. We got home, and it was just kind of time to just relax for the day. Or evening or whatever, because we got home in the evening. So anyway, that is my flip through for the first part of October, and I'm gonna say hallelujah because I actually made it through this video without the phone ringing. As you guys know, in my last couple of videos, like I couldn't even get through the video without the phone ringing at least 2 times, sometimes 3. But now that all this political stuff is over with and all the elections are over with, I have blessed silence. So I am really happy about that. But anyway, as I said, that is my flip through for the first part of October. I'll be back in the next video with the second half, and then I'll backtrack and do flip throughs of previous months. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, rate, and give it a thumbs up, as I said. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys all later. Bye, guys.